Okay, I think maybe I'm online. This is a bit unlike I normally run it. I see, I'm just gonna say this seems to be working. I'm sorry I'm a little bit late today. I was away and just came home. So I haven't had time to set it up completely, but I think the stream is working now. I'll have to wait until someone actually connects. I'm a little bit late, so I understand if people aren't waiting. Well, someone seems to be connecting, so it seems to be working. Let's just see, I'm gonna do this. Timer. There we go. Let's see. Image is a little bit off, but that'll have to do for today. The main thing is we're here. I always say that it's always a good idea to stress to go meditate or stress to go and do relaxation or yoga. You always stress as much as you can to get there on time. That's the most important part. But it is kind of funny how we tend to actually do stress to get to meditation or stress to get to the yoga class, which seems, I mean, it does seem a bit counterproductive. I don't know. It depends on what you want out of it, I guess. But for most people, it would be counterproductive since we actually do the meditation and the yoga as a way to kind of calm down, to settle down, and to just be. And then when you stress to be there, it kind of defeats the purpose. But one thing that's interesting, because we talk so much about the sense of self, if you feel that, let me just see so the sound is working. I'm gonna see. There. Yeah, it looks like the sound is working. So if anyone hears this or sees me talking and don't hear this, then tell me and I'll have to have a look at it. But I was saying about the sense of self, how we can feel this urgency to get somewhere, to have things be a specific way, and that is actually the self looking out, saying, "Okay, you know what? This is important. My wish or my desire or my wants compared to reality. Desire is I want to be there in a specific time, and then we kind of create pressure in between so we can change our reality to be there on time." And if you look at that, then, I mean, that's where the self gets created, this tension towards something to be different than what it is. And I could feel this when I was going here for this to settle down, that there was a desire to like, oh, okay, I take it very seriously for me to be here on time every week, twice per week, because it's something that I believe is important. If people give me their time to come here and actually develop a meditation practice, then it's important that I give them the promise back that every week, twice per week, I will be here at a specific time to help you meditate. So if I don't keep that, then that's, at least my point is that I try to do that. And that's my wants or my desires. And then when reality is that I was stuck in a traffic jam, we had been away. I'm normally not away this late, but I was away and then I was coming back and it was just more traffic than we expected. So things took quite a bit longer than expected. And then there's this, when they don't align, where there's a non-congruency between and I want to get over to this reality. When that happens, then there's this tension to move into something else. And that's really where you feel the sense of self. That's where you feel, I am here and I need to have reality be something different. And so when you create this distortion, you also create this sense of me, I want to get over here. And it's not always easy to see that because we're so focused on unselfish action compared to non-centric action, meaning actions that don't have a centered point, which has very little to do if it's selfish or unselfish. Generally speaking, it will be unselfish, but it doesn't have to be. That's not kind of a quality that is always necessary to have in a specific way. So anyway, it was an interesting experience to see, and you can try it yourself if you ever have somewhere you need to go and there's a time limit on when you need to be there. Let's see, I'm gonna turn off my phone. We'll just wait another few minutes before we start to see if anyone... Hey, Mats is here. Perfect. The man I was waiting for. Sorry for being late. I don't know how long you heard, but can you hear me, by the way? Because I just came in and turned on everything, so I'm not sure if the sound is actually working correctly. I think it is, but I'm not entirely sure. Yeah, perfect. That means it works. I was saying before we were away, we actually picked up a new car, a Nissan Leaf, like an older version, one of the first generations. Because we always wanted to have an electric car, and then on the way back, there was just too much traffic, so we didn't get here in time. Cool. I saw the community post that gave me some time to send some emails. Perfect. Nice. Yeah, I was saying before that I take it quite seriously to be here on time, because I find it very nice to be able to have something to be dependent upon. And if someone offers their time to be here and learn, then I should be here on time also. So again, everyone else who watches this after, sorry for being late. Concert was amazing. Oh my goodness, I forgot to say about that. I went to the Bryan Adams concert last Friday. It was incredible. I had no idea he was such a good, no idea. I didn't realize he was that good of an artist and a singer. He's 63 and he was standing on stage for 2 hours, and it was just, I could never handle that. I don't have that kind of energy. And it started out with, so Bryan Adams come on, and there was like a thing. It was more rock music than I thought. And when I think of Bryan Adams, I think of ballads and slow music. But it came on, it was a bit rock, and they mixed it, new songs, old songs, popular songs, fast songs, slow songs. And the first hour and a half or hour, a little bit over an hour, was very, like, it was a show. So it was like stuff on the background. They had like some kind of setup. You could see that they had prepared things. And then afterwards, they just took requests. And it was just the band standing there like, oh yeah, what song do you want to hear? Oh, that one? Okay, take that one. And then someone wished a song that he hadn't even written, and he still sang it kind of just for fun. And then after that, the band went off stage, and then it was just him, Bryan Adams, with the guitar, and he was just, it was really cool. It felt like there was probably 10,000 people there, but it felt like it was just a pub show where a guy with a guitar, and just like completely humble, really nice guy, and he just started singing like these amazing songs. So it was very refreshing to see compared to the stylized and over choreographed stuff that you normally see, like just Bryan Adams on scene with a guitar, and just him. It was just a spotlight on him, and everyone just stood there and listened, and it felt very intimate, very calm, kind of. So I'm thoroughly impressed by Bryan Adams and his ability to stand on stage, and more songs that I didn't realize that I liked that he had written. So there was it was a good show. It really was. How about we do some meditation? So we'll start with the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 like we normally do, and I'll say out loud 5 things that I can see, 4 things I can feel, 3 things I can hear, 2 things I can smell, and 1 thing I can taste. And then after that, we start sitting for 20 minutes, and today's Monday, so it'll be a guided meditation. You can, of course, do whatever you want by yourself if you just want to sit with us. So I can see 5 things. 1 pair of socks. I see a Buddha statue. There's a magnetile play box, a chair, and a roll of tape. That's 5 things I can see, and now we take 4 things we can feel, and it's important to say it out aloud if you're in a place where you're not disturbing anyone. You can, of course, say it yourself, but the idea is that you stop and actually put focus on what you're trying to do, because you want to experience your senses. So 4 things I can feel. I can feel the fabric of the mouse mat. I can feel the wood on this, I don't know what to call this stick that I ring the bell with. I can feel the metal of this microphone stand, and I can feel the fabric of a sound silencer, dampener, standing here. And then we do 3 things that we can hear. And I can hear the humming of my speakers. There's a humming of a heat pump up here, a fan. Then there's the sound of my computer, which is having a fan running also. Then after that, we take 2 things that we can smell. So I can smell heat. It smells like hot, like it's been warm in this room today. So it's like when textiles gets warm, they have a scent. It smells like it's been closed here and it's been warm today. And I smell, let's see, one last thing. Onions. I smell onions. And then one thing I can taste. And I taste dark chocolate, because I had a piece of chocolate before. So just start by bringing your breath, your awareness to your breath. And just feel what it feels like when you're breathing in and you're breathing out. We're not looking for specific sensations, not even necessarily looking for sensations. We're just observing awareness of breath. The breath is happening. And we try to, as much as possible, widen our awareness. So in this particular meditation, we're not aiming to feel a small spot on the back of our nose or inside our throat or something like that. Instead, we're trying to widen our awareness so that we're aware of our whole upper body, almost like a field, where we can feel breath going in and breath going out, breath going in, breath going out. And put yourself in a comfortable position. It can be standing, sitting, lying down, or even walking if you really wanted to. As long as you're not moving or doing anything that requires your attention, it's nice to close your eyes and just ask yourself that for the next 20 minutes, is it okay to let go of everything? You might have things you worry about that's going to happen tomorrow or maybe even later tonight. But just for these next 20 minutes, leave those to the side. Your mind might be occupied by what happened earlier today or maybe even what happened last year, something that's still running in your mind. And just see for the next 20 minutes if it's okay to leave all of that and just spend some time observing your breath. To make this easier, we're going to be counting our breaths from 1 to 8 and then down from 8 to 1. And we'll do the first one together and then we can continue doing it by ourselves. So we're breathing in and breathing out. 1. Breathing in and breathing out. 2. Breathing in and breathing out. 3. Breathing in and breathing out. 4. Breathing in and breathing out. 5. Breathing in and breathing out. 6. Breathing in and breathing out. 7. Breathing in and breathing out. 7. Breathing in and breathing out. 6. Breathing in and breathing out. 5. Breathing in and breathing out. 4. Breathing in and breathing out. 3. Breathing in and breathing out. 2. Breathing in and breathing out. 1. Now just continue counting your breaths from 1 to 8, and then down again from 8 to 1. Breathing in and breathing out. 1. Breathing in and breathing out. When we do this kind of meditation, we're not trying to control the breath. It's not about getting the breath to be a particular way. Instead, we're trying to move out of the way and let breath happen by itself. So when you hear me doing breathing in and breathing out, that's not actually how we're breathing in this meditation. I just do that to make it easier for you to see that I'm breathing in and breathing out. Instead, just relax and see if you can just let breath happen. In the beginning, it might be a little bit difficult because you have a tendency to want to control your breath when you observe it. It's easy to see the breath, and then as you see it, you want to grab hold of it. And then maybe you stop breathing. It's quite common that that happens because you don't really know how to just let breath happen. But this gets easier. The more you do it and the longer you meditate, it will just be a completely natural thing to do, to stay to the side and observe your breath. And you can even observe how it changes from when you start out. And it's not, as many people have told you, that good breathing is breathing deep and using your diaphragm deep down. When you're doing this kind of meditation and really calming down, the breath will get more shallow, will get softer, and in the end, you might even have times where you panic and go because you don't feel like you've been breathing for half a minute, which may or may not be true. So just step to the side and just observe your breath. Sometimes it will be faster, sometimes slower as you're breathing in and breathing out. 1. Breathing in and breathing out. if you feel an itch somewhere, if you feel like you want to reach up and scratch your nose, or if you feel that your clothes are a little bit irritating at some part, maybe you feel some slight pain, then see if you can sit with that and just let it be there. Try to let it come inside your field of awareness that's observing breath going in and breath going out. And just see, what does it feel like to feel, oh, you know what, my nose is itching. I want to scratch it, but try to not scratch it. Same thing if there's a slight pain in your legs. Again, it's important to not get to the point where you hurt yourself, but if you feel some kind of irritation, just see what it feels like to sit with that feeling of wanting to adjust your clothes or wanting to scratch your nose. And see if you can see the distortion, the tension, the pressure that builds up between the sense of I am here and that scratch is over there. This feeling of separation, this feeling of I, and I want this to be different. Just sit with it for a few more seconds, and then when you feel now I need to scratch, just see, can I sit for one more second? Just one more. And then eventually when you say no, I want to scratch, then just scratch. And observe if there are any feelings of failure because I should have been able to sit longer, or any kind of judgment, and then just observe whatever distortions you have towards that. Again, it's not important how long you sit, if you scratch your nose, whatever you do, it's all about how much are you resisting, how much are you craving towards what you're doing. So try to involve that as you observe your breath, breathing in and breathing out. 1, breathing in and breathing out. Remember that it's not important how many times you're able to go from 1 to 8, and then down from 8 to 1. If you find yourself counting 15, 16, 17 breaths because you completely lost track, that's perfectly fine. The only thing you need to do, in fact, the whole purpose of this meditation, or the whole technique in and of itself, is just revolving around one single thing, which is to keep coming back to your breath. And it doesn't matter if you do that after you've counted to 5 or 50. The only thing that matters is what you do now. And as soon as you notice that you've lost track of your breath, then just come back and start breathing and counting. So just observe your breath. Not because you want a gold star at the end, but just because it's relaxing, it's interesting, and it's calming to just observe breath happening as you're breathing in and breathing out. 1, breathing in and breathing out. If you feel comfortable, it's okay to stop counting and just see what happens. See if you can stay aware of the breath or try moving your awareness around in your body and just feel. Just feel what happens and use your breath as an anchor. Breathing in and breathing out. Breathing in and breathing out. So you're welcome to keep on sitting if you want to, or if you have any questions, you're free to ask them also. I think we'll do a short question and answer today because it's already a little bit later than normally. Christo, oh, Christo, I haven't seen you. It's Christo that we haven't seen for quite a while, right? Or is it some other Christo? I think that's Christo at least. Or maybe it's another Christo that I don't know. So Mats is saying, Mats said he had to go. That's fine. Yes, Christo, we were actually talking about you the other day. So like, it was such a nice gang in the beginning when we just started, and then some of the people we missed was you. So it's very nice to have you back. I hope you'll come back again soon. Have you been okay since we spoke last time? I mean, I hope so. It's getting warm in here. I'm going to have the air conditioner on now in the summertime because this is a small space and it gets really heated up in the days. Yeah, that doesn't sound good. It's a difficult topic to deal with. I mean, I'm not sure what there is that causes that, and it's kind of a personal thing to bring up. But one of the things that I notice with people who do self-harm or even commit suicide or attempts to, because there's some kind of similarities there, is that in the moment, usually, there is so much what I call distortion. There's so much anxiety, so much want compared to reality that is not matching, that this thing here gets so painful that it feels like I have to get out of this. For some people, they feel the only way to get out is to stop living. For other people, one of the ways to get out of it is to get something else that's like stronger than this crazy feeling inside. So then people, again, it's a very, hey Jack, nice to see you. It's very personal how people feel this, but for some people they harm themselves in different ways because it can kind of either get them to feel something at all because maybe you don't feel anything except for like numbness, or many times also it's because there's so much anxiety that you need to kind of distract yourself. I found that it helps a lot to walk, like especially if it's colder outside, or doing something that kind of takes you away from just being stuck in the mind. One of the worst things you can do is to just sit inside and watch TV. I know that's what many people want to do because they just want to like isolate themselves and just not have any contact. But one of the nice things to do is to just in this state, when it's this bad, distraction can actually be really good. And I mean that as in going out to get some fresh air, taking a cold bath is amazing because there's so much sensation that this uncomfortableness actually kind of gets forgotten and overtaken by the other sensations of the cold bath. If you don't have a cold bath, you can always take a cold shower. It doesn't have to be a complete bath. And then also learning to see that it's something that changes. It's not that like it feels in the moment like I'm going to carry this pain, this anxiety with me forever. It's never going to change. And then that's not true. You might intellectually know about it, but it feels like it's going to be like that. And yeah, that's a difficult thing to deal with. Okay, book addicts. Well, that is better actually, because TVs can cause other problems, and social media is not good either. I mean, I can feel that I'm negatively affected by it when I hang out too much. Even on YouTube, I mean, I do YouTube because I think it's fun, and this is something that really brings me a lot of joy. But it's also something that hopefully I can expand, and some time in the future gets to be a separate source of income, so I can actually do this more because I'm limited by my time that I have to split between work, family, doing this, taking care of myself, taking care of our home and private life, and yeah. So when I spend too much time on YouTube observing what other people do, and also trying to figure out what's the best way to help people through YouTube. Because one of my main issues is that I'm used to having people locked up in a room for a full day, and I have time because they're not going to be able to run out of there, and then I can explain things, and by the end of the day people get it. On YouTube I have 33 seconds and then they leave if they're not interested, so I have to kind of learn how to do that. Let's see, depends on how it's used. Social media can help and heal your channel, for example. Well, thank you for saying that. And of course you can get in contact with other people and you can get emotional support, but I think you know what I mean when I say social media is usually not helpful. I absolutely agree that there's lots of helpful stuff. Mahamudra. Is that a question or like a tip, Jack, for Christo? Mudra, is that, I'm trying to figure out what that is. Can you explain it shortly or briefly? Mudra is a position, right? And the Maha is larger. Question on take. Not sure entirely what that means. But Christo, if there's anything specific, feel free to just ask and we can discuss it. Tonight is a night where I'm warm, sweaty, and just came home, and I need to go in and take care of the family. But for sure, if you have more questions and you're okay with asking them here, you can always ask, and we can see if we can come up with something that alleviates. I'm trying to think of what clients that I've had have run up against when it comes to these things, and I've yeah, there's so many things. I mean, what some of the main things is to get, and it's the same we do when I did work, when I worked with kids who were home from school. Like we always say, do you sleep properly? Do you eat properly? Like if people don't eat and people don't sleep, then it doesn't really matter what you do because everything's going to be screwed. And then we look at like the social surroundings, like what do we do that makes this worse, and what can we do that makes it better, and do we actually know what it is? Is it just general anxiety, or is it specific towards something? Is this something that we can look at and see where this is coming up from, and is there any kind of medicine in play that can help or harm or whatever's happening there? Harm, usually, I would not be talking about medicine, but about drugs, because people can take drugs to alleviate the pain, but generally speaking, it doesn't really help. And and then we just try to work through that. So I hope you have someone you're talking to if it's that serious. Let's see, Jack is saying, I am a yogi background. Oh, okay. I just don't want to confuse the viewers. Mahmoud, I recognize. I'll have to look that up, and I'll see you next time. Like I said, today is a little bit awkward time for me because I was late, and I apologize for starting late. But I'm really happy you guys came, the guys who are here, and girls, of course. So I'll see everyone who wants to back on Thursday, and if you have any questions, feel free to ask them then, or write, and maybe I'll see it later. Thank you everyone for tonight, and I hope you have a pleasant evening. Night.